is we're going to our very last interview of the three, and I'm so rapt. We're attracting medical professionals, as you saw, in this business. We're attracting managing directors into this sort of business. We're also attracting career network marketers. So next up, the person I'd love to interview is actually Karen Justice. Karen is actually from the USA in Florida, and we've only met literally a few weeks ago. She's a career network marketer. She's been a master distributor for companies in the past, helping them get set up and around the world. So what I'd really love to do, having you last on purpose, Karen, is because of your wisdom in the industry. I know that Larry, who brought you to the table, said Karen could sponsor anybody anywhere in the world without, any help from us, because you have such a high level of respect and trust. So firstly, congratulations for hitting 1 star in a week, right? I do believe, I looked in the back office before, you're that far off 2-star within the first 20 days. So, and I know you said that was slow for you, right? So but there's 5 points I want you to cover and share based on your experience and wisdom. And we are blessed to have someone of your caliber, and we are attracting a lot of people like yourself coming into the company. So first up, one of the things we discussed the other day is you said you don't just send out a link to someone without communication. You have a personal connection. Can you expand on that for us?
Sure. First, I'd like to say how grateful I am that I found Neumi. This is such a wonderful group of people, but also the product is absolutely exceptional. So I'm incredibly excited and really grateful to be here. So with regard to your question, the thing that I believe is important is right now people are being inundated with marketing. There's a huge battle for everyone's attention, and if you Google it, you'll see that the average person, believe it or not, there's all kinds of agencies reporting this, that the average person sees 4,000 to 10,000 ads a day. I mean, if you go on Facebook, you start to believe it, because there's Facebook ads, banner ads, all kinds of videos that are inviting you to this or that. And now with COVID, there's people sending all kinds of videos to their friends about, different things about that. So people are just kind of tuned out, their eyes are starting to glaze over. So I believe that to get people's attention, it's really, if you want to get it quickly, the first step is to make a call. And it's a very simple call. You're just reaching out. But as Irvin said, you've got to share your excitement. Excitement is really important. There's an old saying that I often quote, and I will again here, and it's that excitement is like a mysterious electric current. It can't be seen any more than electricity can, but it can be felt. And so people respond more to the feeling that you're giving out even than what you say. So it's important as a first step to share honest excitement. And but another really important thing, and I know you and I have talked about it, Michael, is it's really important to only say enough to get them to watch, your video link. Mystery attracts. If you say too much, then the person believes that they already know it all. So why watch your link? So that's what I believe is really important.
Beautiful. And you know what? We've all had this happen where, and you feel for them. Someone's got into the industry. No one's trained them like we're doing. And then you get a message saying, "Hi, Mr. Firth, I've just added you to Facebook. Check out my link." And you think, oh, delete, next. And I think if they send enough of those out, they're going to get a result. Not. So next thing, another thing we totally agree on with this one is, sometimes we meet somebody who's got a timid personality and they're like, "Look, I'm just going to reconnect with my friend from primary school first and chat about all these things to do with life before I get into, talking about my business opportunity." And you've got a belief about reconnecting honestly. Tell us what that means.
Well, I know, if you've been in a network marketing business for a while, you have people calling you about this or that opportunity. And I always found early on that people would call me and they talk for about 10 minutes, and I knew darn well they were trying to interest me in their business, and I was just kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop. So you really, people aren't that dumb. You know what I mean? You really don't want to appear manipulative, and nobody wants to be manipulated. So you don't want to come across like you've got this agenda, but you're not bringing it up right away. So you want to connect on a deeper level, a more honest level. And I'll give you an example of how I do it. I like to get the reason I'm calling out there right away, because then it becomes a more natural conversation, and it's more gracious, and it's using good manners. Because sometimes you might be calling somebody you haven't seen in years, and you do want to catch up. So this is how I started. I'll just give you an example. I might say something like, "Hi, Beth. We haven't talked for a while, but I'm calling to share something I'm really excited about. But first, can we catch up for a few minutes?" And then I might say something like, "Are you still working with XYZ company or something like that? Or, how's your family doing, through this crazy time?" That type of thing. Again, you don't say too much about the opportunity you're presenting about Neumi. You want them to listen to the link that you're sending. You don't want them to think that they already know it all. And the other thing about keeping your presentation a little shorter is, most people that you'd be talking, you may be wonderful, at giving a full presentation, but most people that you're talking to aren't as good as that. So you want to appear duplicatable, so that the person that you might be bringing on board realizes that they could do exactly what you did, and just,
Beautiful.
share the excitement, talk about it just briefly, and get them to watch the first video.
Love it. Love it. We're on the same page. This is an illustration of someone who's been in the industry for years, and the wisdom that you're hearing, guys, make sure you take it on board. So with that in mind too, we have the Neumi 123 system: connect the tools, connect the leaders, connect the product. Now, some people go, "Oh, it's a system. I've got to wait until I get to step 3 to sign them up." But you and I both agree on this, about not hesitating and taking the order. If they're ready, what do you do?
Right. What I find is that a lot of people new to marketing are afraid to ask for a sale. And I understand that, because, most people are new to sales. And so they can be having this wonderful conversation, but the second they have to ask for the order, they back off, and they immediately say, "Well, would you like me to send you more information, or I can send you yet another video?" At that point that you find that the person you're talking to is excited, it's a really important point. And if you sort of shove them off to another day, or with more materials or that, sometimes it can be hard to recapture that initial excitement. So it's important to take the order when that excitement's there, and to try to handle that with the people that have been in my group in the past, when I've been a trainer, is I've created something I call the bridge, and I'm going to share it with you. If you feel excitement, like as you're talking to somebody, if you feel the excitement, you can gently ask for the order without asking a yes or no question, like without asking, "Do you want to do it or not?" You know what I mean? Which can be uncomfortable in a natural dialogue. So instead of asking, "Do you want to do it or not?" my bridge is these 3 words: "If you're interested." It's very gentle. If you're interested, the company has created several starter packs. And then I go in to describe the different packs that they can sign up with. I always lead with the most expensive. And I'll say, there's $1,000 pack. A lot of people like to take advantage of the benefits. I say those exact words. A lot of people like to take advantage of the benefits. And then I explain some of what they are. And when you underline the fact that there's benefits, a lot of people don't want to miss out on benefits. So it's a wonderful way to present it first. And then obviously the other packs are much more reasonable. But the $1,000 pack is the best value. And so the other thing is if you've asked too soon, like let's say the person's excited and you say, if you're interested, the company's created several starter packs, then they'll say, well, I still want to know about this or about that. And so often you can just answer that question very quickly. Sometimes you might have to send more materials, but often you can just answer it really quickly. And then you just can say again, once you've answered the question, if you're interested, as I said, the company's created several starter packs, and then you move into what the packs are about. So it's very natural. It's really easy to remember it. And it just works wonderfully as a segue into taking that order. And I can tell you that in a past company I was at, when I was on stage and watching some people become double diamond, I was thanked for that little bridge that helped them achieve that goal. So it works.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Now, for those listening too, because some people have heard me say before that I never ask, would you be interested? Just want to point out that's very different from what Karen said. If you're interested, the company has yada, yada, yada. Because would you be interested is yes or no. If you're interested, here's some options is a bridge, which is great. So just beware not to be going out there saying, hey, would you be interested? So that's brilliant. So the other thing is too, if someone's ready, sign them up, get a pack, but you still get the three-way call going. So sometimes my three-way calls with you or Larry's three-way calls with you are after they've already registered, and that's okay. Same thing happens with me and Alex sometimes. They have so much belief and trust in me. They're in already. Why wait? Sign them up, but I still get the three-way call going. So how important do you feel, with all your knowledge, that it is introducing people to a third party? Because often you introduce them to Larry, who's you sponsor, an amazing veteran of the industry, but then we still end up getting to meet them myself as well further up the line. So how important is third-party validation?
Well, it's incredibly important. I mean, it obviously builds agreement that this is a great choice. And, product validation is important. It's really wonderful to, everybody's an expert that isn't necessarily the friend that's talking to them. So it does add that agreement, the product validation. But the other thing that it does that's so incredibly important, it creates the connections that start to build a team. And connections are what keep your group together. As we link arms, people realize that they're not in business alone. And it's so important because the sum of the whole in networking is much greater than the individual parts. And you may be great at making effective presentations, but as I said earlier, most people who are new to this type of business are not. And they want to help people, but they dread the idea of prospecting. So, because they don't want to be a salesperson or sales type. But using three ways illustrates, three ways and the tools and our marketing links, that type of thing. Just as Nancy was saying, it illustrates that, we have a very easy duplicatable system.
Yep. Beautiful. Now, final question, and you kind of touched on this, but I'll just get you to cover it anyway. And that is, when it comes to using the tools, you believe in talking less and using tools. Can you expand on that?
Sure. A lot of people that are new to networking, and even some people that have been in a while, often talk enough to get their tongues suntanned. It's something I like to say.
I love it. Love that.
But authentic listening is really the key to success in networking. And people need to feel that they're cared about. People are going through extremely difficult times right now. And because they're going through these difficult times, the thing they're most interested is themselves and their problems. And if they feel your presentation is about them, and that it's actually going to help them, you connect on a much deeper level, but you won't be able to make that presentation about them unless you practice listening. And once you practice listening, you will hear what they want and you present to that. if you use authentic listening, you know, if you use the tools, you'll find that less talking is more powerful.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Karen, for sharing. Like I said, we're blessed to have you on board, blessed to have all three of you on board. So as we wrap up, guys, what a powerful interview series today was. It's blown me away. I just want to promote the reason we did this interview today. So we are 6 months into Neumi. We've had phenomenal success. There's 3 double diamonds around the world, multiple diamonds. It's just going crazy, 15 countries. But the core engine room of our business is just create 1-stars. Now, all 3 people on here within about 10 days went 1-star, a managing director, a medical professional, a network marketing professional. An everyday person can come in and become a 1-star literally in days. It is now the 27th here in Australia. So we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, nearly 5 days until the end of this month. Anyone who has achieved 1-star by the end of this month will be invited to a special invitation workshop, invitation-only workshop for 1-stars and above. And that means that you will be able to hear from double diamonds talking about their experience and how to grow your business fast. In fact, the first workshop starts on the first weekend in Australia, which is February the 5th. So get your skates on. Don't poke it with a stick. If you really want to qualify for this, the time is to hit the turbos today, and then you can be qualifying for that particular interview series as well. So I just want to thank everybody who got on today. What a spectacular interview it was. And remember, at this time every week, we'll either have a corporate call from the company, or we'll have a new interview series on the power of the products, or something like this, or even a doctor interview. So thank you to everybody for being on today. All the best.